Hey guys, Verbal Legend 95, recording live from the Kotal Kahn prison cell. So this happens a lot, actually, believe it or not, when I'm going through, what fights to do in the show. There are fights that I hold off intentionally, for the sake of any number of reasons. For the sake of, there not being enough information available, for the sake of, uh, there being too much of there being like too much of an abundancy of me using characters from the same sort of thing, and that's sort of what this was at the time. This is the reason I don't want to do any more Ruby characters for a while, because Volume 3 is coming out in the fall, and I figure after that happens, yeah, I'll talk about it as much as I want. But today's fight is Ogre from Tekken versus Kotal Kahn from Mortal Kombat. Now, when I wrote this fight down, Kotal Kahn had just been revealed. MKX was at least a month or two from coming out. So yeah, it was like, well, I don't want to do the fight if I don't know anything about him, and I don't want to do the fight if, just to cash in on the success of an anticipated game. So I thought, okay, I'll do it when MKX comes out, and then I'll know all this stuff and all that. Completely slipped my mind until now. So I figure now that it's been out, and now that Kotal Kahn has been sort of cemented as a MK character, I might as well do it. Now, as I've said, I believe I said this in Guile versus Jax, and Sub-Zero. I think I said this in the Sub-Zero Haku video too. That because of MKX, you can really put all of what they do and all their variations into as one character being able to do it. Like, for instance, in a death battle, they're not going to say, we're going to stick to the Grandmaster variation of Sub-Zero. No, if any of the variations can do something, then the character can do that. It's like when they pull his abilities from different games. Like, yeah. So don't say, so I don't want to see any comments saying, oh, well, you're taking Sun God, you mentioned this, that's part of the Sun God variation, but then you mentioned this, and that's part of the Aztec variation. No. No, if his character can do the move in the game, regardless of, if he can do a move in a Mortal Kombat game, the character is capable of doing that. That's where I'm getting this. Likewise, I will be pulling abilities from different Tekken games for Ogre because, well... Oh, and by the way, this isn't going to be true Ogre. Well, okay, let me rephrase this. For those of you who don't know, Ogre in Tekken is the god of fighting, the Aztec god of fighting, who was awoken after, what was it, 2,000 years of sleep, and, desired a worthy challenge. So, in the Tekken storyline, when you play through all these characters, you fight Ogre. In Tekken 3, I believe, was his first appearance. No, was he in Tekken 1? I don't think he was in Tekken 1, but he was in Tekken 2, I know that. Okay, so after you play through, you play Ogre, and in Tekken 3, what happens is you fight Ogre, and then if you are playing... If you're playing just anyone else, he absorbs Heihachi. He absorbs Heihachi's power and becomes true Ogre. If you're playing as Heihachi, he absorbs Kazuya's power, or is it Jin? Whatever. Back then it looked the same. Anyway, point is, true Ogre is a more powerful entity, and in most of the Tekken games, it's been true Ogre, not Ogre, but anyway, Ogre is the god of fighting in the Tekken universe. And in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, he was shown to be a match for Akuma. So that's something, isn't it? If anybody's a match for Akuma, that pretty much makes it out to be, yeah. But yeah, Ogre has, of course, being a god, has superhuman strength, superhuman durability, uh, immortality he might actually have. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he can truly be killed. But, now he carries around a shield with him, but I think that's more like for, like, he uses it as a weapon, I suppose, but, yeah. But, he's also capable of sprouting giant wings of fire from his back to fly with, and can even, send sort of, he can do sort of fire attacks with these, but not like, he can't, like, breathe fire or shoot it or anything, but he can in some degree weaponize fire using these wings. And also he's capable of somehow generating random giant explosions. So I mean but then again, I'm pretty sure Jin can do that in devil form. So it's that sort of thing. As a matter of fact, I believe this might have been confirmed, and if it has, I feel like an idiot for not being up to it. But I think the fan theory, if not the actual story in the game, is that the devil gene is originally from Ogre's DNA. So Devil Jin and Devil Kazuya, if you know the Mishima Zaibatsu storyline, are a result of Ogre's DNA. So he'd be able to do pretty much almost anything that Jin and Kazuya can do in devil form, meaning he'd probably be able to shoot giant lasers that can cut through buildings. So yeah. Let's go on to Kotal Kahn. Everyone was thinking this guy was gonna be a bad guy. Everyone was thinking this guy was gonna be Shao Kahn's replacement. When in fact Kotal Kahn is an ally to you, and he sort of is tricked into becoming your enemy, but then he sort of reverts back. So Kotal Kahn's not a bad guy. That really surprised me at the end. That Kotal Kahn isn't your enemy. But anyway, so Kotal Kahn being the sun god, gains power from the sun, he can't like control the sun, but he can make the sun, he can make, intense beams of sunlight that are capable of burning flesh, like rain down in a specific spot. And he is definitely super strong. You don't have the last name Khan in the Mortal Kombat universe without being as tough as they come. I mean, this guy is super strong. He is super tough, super durable. And I almost dare to say that his predecessor, Shao Kahn, that everybody fucking... I'm sorry, we didn't know what we had until it was gone. Everybody wants Shao Kahn back now that MK... I mean, we don't want him in this game, but we want at least another game with Shao Kahn in it, because, wow. Not having a character in Mortal Kombat really makes you want to have a character in Mortal Kombat. Same with every fighting game, I guess. Street Fighter does the same sort of thing. But I would argue to say he's actually, in terms of, not necessarily as a character, but in terms of, so not like as a playable character, but as like the character himself, I'd say he's a better fighter than Shao Kahn is. Definitely doesn't have as much power, I wouldn't think, in terms of just like direct power, so, but, manipulating the sun sort of has that sort of effect on people. But anyway, let's analyze how this fight would go. Do not make no mistake, this is a fight between two gods. There's no argument that these two are both deities. They may walk amongst men, but they are gods. There's no debating that. This is tough because it'd be really easy for a lot of people to say Kotal Kahn because, quite frankly, not that many people take Tekken as seriously as they do Mortal Kombat. But for the amount of people that, I mean, well, let's put it this way. Kotal Kahn has been in charge of Outworld for, in the game, at least a while. And he may have been on the throne and, you know, had people serving him, but he still has fought on occasion. Ogre was locked away for 2,000 years. And, you know, but I don't want to exactly say Ogre was rusty, because that boss fight, my 6-year-old version of me would kick my ass for saying he got rusty while playing that boss fight. I mean, Ogre's ability to fly would definitely come into play, but then you consider that Kotal Kahn can manipulate sunlight. Plus the fact that Kotal Kahn can power himself up. But then again, Ogre, in a sense, is also powered by fighting others. Much in the same way that Akuma or someone like Alucard or something is, you know, the more you fight them, the more powerful they're gonna end up becoming. I don't know if that's an actual power or just like, you know, the fact that he's the god of fighting. But just in terms of like pure destructive power of what one of them can do, I'm gonna go ahead and say Ogre. Just because Ogre's destroyed entire mountain ranges, he's destroyed, you know, Aztec pyramids, he's destroyed, you know, these giant structural things, whereas Kotal Kahn, yes, Kotal Kahn can kill a person very easily, but I don't think, until we see Kotal Kahn, you know, shatter a mountain or something, I don't think he's gonna stand up to that much power that Yogurt, I almost called him Yogurt, that Ogre has behind him. Well, that's a first on the channel, I guess, isn't it? Yes, he's going to use the Schwartz to defeat Kotal Kahn, clearly. Anyway. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ogre. From Tekken, in case somebody's just been blocking out what I've been saying for the last 13 minutes. Yeah, so I think Ogre's going to take this. MK fans are going to bitch at me for being a Tekken fan, probably, but yeah, that's just what I see. So anyway, Verbal Engine 95, see you.